What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday evening and welcome to NXT. We're getting a recap from last week already, and we're just a few days away from Halloween Havoc, guys. Forgive the Clark Kent look here today, but that's some days you just got to rock like that. Nevertheless, we're here for some excellent in-ring action tonight. We finally are going to have some men's speed matches. We spent some time with the women's speed title, currently held by Sol Ruka, and the men's speed title currently held by El Grande Americano. However, there's going to be a couple of semifinal matches tonight. Also featuring the return of Evolve's Sean Legacy. I think that ought to be a lot of fun. George, Tyrell, Black Panther Gaming, good to see you guys. And I'm looking forward to having a good time here. So heard a major announcement from Soul, Sophie. Interesting. Well, she does have Blake Monroe scheduled for this weekend at Halloween Havoc, defending the North American title. So I'll be very interested to see what's going on. Angela Lockwood, good to see you. Taking care of your nephew. Okay. We're doing okay, Sophie. We've got more. I haven't checked my watch hours in a few days, so I don't know where we're at. But we're climbing. We continue to climb, so I'm hoping we get there soon enough, though. Still, she was limping away after that tag match. I couldn't tell if it was legit or if she was just selling. But I would hate one for Soul to be hurt, because I think that match with Blake is going to be really good. And two, that she's held these titles for so long that she would just have to relinquish them. And I'm telling you, man, WWE is on a tough run right now. Just a tough run of relinquishing titles. You've got, Naomi, Seth Rollins, and I hope we don't add Soul to that list tonight. I just came off of work, so if I'm snacking a little bit in between commentary, please accept my apologies. And of course, we did have Tatum Paxley win the Battle Royal last night. Here comes the culling. Speaking of Tatum. And celebrated with Lyra Valkyria, who made a cameo in NXT. Yeah, Sophie, you got a National Pumpkin Cheese Day. Oh, Cheesecake Day. All right, Zach, I see you. All right, the whole culling is here. Now, Sophie, yeah, I thought Raw was a great show last night. Thank you guys for tuning in to A and B Convos while I sat in for B with A last night. And A will be joining us at the end of the show for Halloween Havoc predictions, by the way. So just be aware of that and stick around for those predictions. Now, Raw was a solid show. Axiom, that's who it was, Angela. Yes. Axiom versus Sean Legacy. I think that's going to be a great match. So, Sophie, I don't know. It depends on how often I'm asked and how often I'm available. So, big "you deserve it" chance for Tatum Paxley, soaking it in, and the culling currently looking like they're supporting her as well. What's up, Justin? Good to see you. I didn't say hi to you, Dossie, but good to see you too. Oh man, Tatum's just so excited. Her excitement is contagious. Big Tatum chants ringing out throughout the NXT arena. They're happy to see her win. There's been one consistent friendship. Oh gosh, is she going to say Lyra or is she going to say Izzy? Oh, it's the fans. Okay. Babyface promo. Justin, I love Ilya as US champion. Absolutely love it. Perfect call. Fantastic match. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited. He and Sammy cooked so good too. It was great. Okay, Nico. It's a tip-off night. All right. Oh gosh. This is going to be so heartbreaking when they turn on Tatum. She's so feeling loved and appreciated now and no longer alone. I mean, because it's legit, she was teamed up with Shotzi and Gigi Dolan and they both got released. Tatum is just assuming they're going to have her back. So she believes she's going to win. And here comes Fatal Influence. Right on cue. Justin, I thought Raw was great. I think I gave it an 8 or an 8.5 last night. I don't think there was one bad segment. It was pretty good. Sophie, I think Tatum will get called up at some point. I just don't think anytime soon. Not because she's not any good. I just think I don't think there's room for her right now, and they can just keep her in NXT and let her have a shot at being women's champion for a while. Okay. It's weird seeing Lainey Reed there with Fatal Influence now. I'm still getting used to her being a part of it. Somebody's going to have to be the one who beats JC at some point. I mean, listen, Wrestling Booking 101, JC is straight up burying Tatum as not even being good enough to be in the ring with her. Like, so she better do something here. She better win. They are kind of two sides of the same coin, Tatum and JC. Tatum just kind of the dark side of it, where they both have been kind of overlooked. Okay, Tatum's showing some fire in this promo. Good for you, Tatum. Fallon's trying to cut her promo now, but the crowd's still chanting loud, and they're trying to drown out Fallon by chanting for Tatum. Got to, Sophie. I got to. Tyrell, you mentioned that about Jacob's attack. I agree. I don't think it was Drew, and I don't think it was the MFTs. Because I think both of them would take credit for it. I mean, whoever's hiding, that's a reason to hide why they did it. All right. Well, Izzy's back in Tatum here. JC's lines all feel kind of forced. You know it, Justin. My dogs put Ole Miss down too. Dropped him a couple notches. I was happy to see it. Looks like we're getting a tag team match player. All right, so I guess we're getting Tatum and Izzy versus Laney and Fallon tonight. Wow, and now Izzy and Tatum taking turns on JC, dropping her. Oh, about to go for a finish. Omos Teflon Don. I tell you what, we can hate on that idea all we want, but Omos and Jacob wouldn't be a terrible thing. There's Stacks backstage. He's going to be taking on Leon Slater tonight for the X Division Championship. Sorry, Teflon Don. Let me go back and see if I can catch that old message. Oh, Javon and Leon here. Okay. Our one and only mod father is here. Hope everyone's having a blessed evening. And your mod father just became a mod for my 8th channel. The Mercedes Monet of modding. Our Teflon Don, mod father. Focus on Halloween Havoc. Are they wrestling at Halloween Havoc? Who's it? Neither one of them has been announced for Halloween Havoc. If we get Javon and Leon at Halloween Havoc, stop playing. Teflon Don, you only need 4 more channels to catch up to Mercedes. Man, if Oba was the one who attacked Fatu, that would be wild. But again, just my opinion. I feel like if Oba is going to be debuting, I just don't know that he needs to be a secret. Honestly, Friday night when they had that impromptu match with Cody and Drew, I thought for a brief second that Cody was the one who did it. Because he was so, there's an old like Shakespearean phrase, methinks thou doth protest too much, which just means like, if you're the one talking about it so much that you didn't do it, you're probably the one who did it, And Cody, the way Cody started off his promo really made it seem like he was trying to distance himself and put all the blame on Drew. But I'll say this, as a heel, Drew is the kind of guy who would just say, yeah, I did it. And so is Solo, honestly. So like, I feel like the usual suspects that we could pin this on don't seem like the right call based on what we witnessed. George has a question. If Jasmine Nix wouldn't have left WWE, would you see her costing JC Jane the women's championship at Halloween Havoc? Well, George, that is how I thought it would go with Lola Vice back at Heatwave, I think it was. I thought that was the way they were going to write Jasmine Nix out of Fatal Influence. But then, it just turns out she just, declined her new offer, and that was that. And so they had her eliminated the week before Heatwave instead. And, here we are now with Lainey Reed. But that was my initial thought, was that Jasmine's exit from Fatal Influence would have been because she cost JC Jane the title, because she was already kind of getting blamed as a bit of a screw up, and JC and Fallon also weren't really on the same page a lot either. And now they're just kind of ignoring that now that Lainey Reed is in. They're just kind of acting like, oh yeah, we're all on the same page again. And Jasmine was the weak link, which I don't really know. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of wish they would keep building the tension in that with Fatal Influence, and seeing if they could break up or just argue amongst themselves a little bit. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So let me see if I've missed any other big comments here. But yeah, and honestly, I think that we'll have, okay, we're about to be coming back from break here. Saturday night's main event. That's what I was going to talk about anyways. I agree with Just Alex, whoever quoted Just Alex. I think Braun Breaker could end up just ruining that title match. So we'll see. Angela, last night on the Raw stream with I predicted we'd see Obafemi at the Royal Rumble. I don't see any good reason to bring him up now. Like, it's too late in Cena's run, I think, to have him show up and retire Cena. I don't know who you put him with. I think a Royal Rumble is a great opportunity to just showcase him, let him tear up people, and go from there. All right, here comes the X Division champion, Leon Slater. I don't think it's too long to wait. That belt did look good on Braun, Dossie. You're right. I mean, I honestly, as much as I hate the sort of NWO Death Rider ruin the title scene storylines, if Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed want to keep ruining Adam Pearce's plans to crown a world champion until Braun gets a title shot, I don't know that I would hate that. Oh, Oba challenge Rusev. That wouldn't be bad either. Not at all. That Becky Lynch promo, George, was fantastic. She's made so many great promos in her career, and that was a very good one. Had to be backstage because she was using her lower inside voice, but still good. Man, the X Division title being defended on NXT. Here we are. I would absolutely love to see AJ Styles wrestle one more TNA match before he's done. Even if he and Dragon Lee came down to challenge the Hardys or something. I don't know. Just him wrestling under TNA one more time. Teflon Don, Leon Slater. Think of Leon Slater as TNA's Javon Evans. I don't mean to disrespect Leon Slater, but that's about the quickest description I can give you, Teflon Don. He is TNA's Javon Evans, all the way to the T. And these two guys have buddied up with each other with a professional rivalry. Kind of think of like Sheamus and Cesaro when they were the Bar, They're competitive, but they're friends. Yeah, throw a dash of Kofi in there. But yeah, Leon's really good. Really good. And if y'all remember how a year ago, Javon Evans kind of got the thumbs up, the pat on the back from Randy Orton, Leon Slater at Slammiversary this year got the pat on the back from AJ Styles. AJ appeared at that TNA show and put over Leon Slater as the future of the X Division. Yes, Teflon Don, the 450 Swan time. That is his finish. George, I think AJ Lee, so to speak, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, great tag team. I'm happy to see them with the belts. I hope that they defend them more frequently than Finn Balor and JD McDonough did. And that's no shade on the Judgment Day either. When I saw that match last night, I was honestly in my head thinking, man, I'm disappointed that they didn't defend the belts more because Finn and JD are a good tag team together. That match was excellent. But yeah, too many backstage segments, not enough tag title defenses. Hops over. Javon just jumped on the announce table, grabbed the headset, looked dead in the camera, said with his best like white man voice, "We'll be right back after this commercial break." Oh man, that was amusing. Well done. Well done. That's hilarious. All right, Javon's still on commentary too, by the way. Although he's sitting here, he's hilarious. He's sitting here selling right alongside Stacks Lorenzo to all these chops that that Leon is throwing. Booker T over here. Put some Cholula on it, man. Javon's got a lot of personality on the mic, though. I give him that. For sure. All right, y'all. I'm alone right now, so channel mascot needs a little attention. So give me a second. I will be right back. Y'all keep watching. Y'all keep watching. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience there. Okay. So, dueling chants both in support of Leon. Let's go, Leon. Stacks, you suck. Don't forget, we have a contract signing tonight between NXT champion Ricky Saints and Trick Williams. With Stacks firmly in control right now, will we see a new X Division champion? I don't think we will, but nevertheless, here we go. Justin, I don't think so. I don't think we see Dark State here. I hope not, anyways. I'm just not into Dark State as much anymore. Plus, they got to think about the Hardys and getting their titles back. Stacks is going to Ariana here on the, I almost said on the sideline, on the apron. Oh, Ariana falls off the apron and into the arms of Javon Evans, which creates a major distraction for Stacks. And now, Stacks throws off the distraction and gets his hands on Leon again. I know that Stacks and Ariana are a real life couple, but like I would have enjoyed them having some kind of actual development to putting them on camera together because Stacks was in a whole different place before getting paired up with her on screen. But sometimes, man, WWE does this sometimes, and I don't care for it, is where they just kind of just do character resets with no advertisement, no vignettes, no buildup. They just turn on the TV one week and like, oh, we're doing this now. And I don't recall ever seeing any change there. Leon Slater with a huge dive over the corner onto the floor, taking out Stacks. Big TNA chance now. Are we about to see the Swanton 450? He's up top. There it is. Swanton 450. That's game. Leon Slater retains. Javon in here to celebrate with Leon. Who from Dark State? Yes, Teflon Don. It is nasty. It's so clean too, man. Who from Dark State could go after the X Division title? I guess, you've got Cutler James and Saquon Sugars, who are not the tag anymore. It seems like Osiris and Deion Lennox are the tag team of Dark State. So I would have Saquon go after the singles title if they were going to. He can cut a good promo. He's good at that. All right, they want to be at Halloween Havoc. Oh, calling for a tag team match. What's that other place? Who's here? Is that Mr. Iguana? No. Oh, snap. La Parka. Oh, La Parka. Oh, put La Parka. Oh, yeah. Okay. La Parka and Mr. Iguana. Oh, my gosh. This match is going to be so unserious, but it's going to be so good. Big Iguana chance. Well, I don't know who La Parka is now. I remember La Parka from when I was a teenager. He was on Nitro. But this La Parka is dope. Obviously, Halloween Havoc's got to have a skeleton and a lizard. What's up, Shamanica? Good to see you. Okay. Leon and Javon, Levon, if you will, versus La Parka and Mr. Iguana. That might be the match I want to see the most. Either that or currently Sol Ruka versus Blake Monroe, although I'm nervous about Sol Ruka's availability. Okay. AAA is going to be down at NXT Halloween Havoc. He does have that aura, Teflon Don, no doubt. Zach Wentz. Oh, Zach Wentz is going to be in the speed match tonight with Jasper Troy. Okay. Hey, Dro. Give me Tom. Okay. Do I think AAA could get a TV deal at some point for the USA? That feels like a tall order, Sophie. I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen. But you know what? Being owned by WWE and TKO, they have a good chance. I mean, I think they're in the best possible position they could be to get it. If that happens. I like that too, Teflon Don. I love NXT using all the retro pay-per-view PLEs. I mean, because you got No Mercy. I think they've used Roadblock before in the past, using Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash, like just all great stuff. So I love to see that as well. You enjoy it. Knockout, Dro, TKO. Yeah, Impact is going to have TNA is going to have a new deal at some point as well, because I think their current deal is expiring, and there's been rumor about talks for this partnership with TNA. This partnership with WWE and TNA may be working out for them and getting that. You mean an ECW event, Angela? Heatwave was an ECW event, but hey, WWE's using that as well. So yeah, that's awesome. Let's see, Tatum and Izzy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I wonder if that'll be our main event tonight, or if the contract signing will be the main event. We'll have to see where that goes. So, yeah, I mean, AEW. I mean, I think they seem to be happy with their product in house, but yeah, the numbers have been going down for them. And I don't quite understand these ratings changes that are going on, but hopefully, because I know that there's a lot of news about Warner Brothers getting possibly getting purchased, is up for sale. And of course, they own HBO Max, which is housing AEW Dynamite, at least for the next couple of years until their deal is up. So we'll see, man. We'll see what kind of Brave New World stuff is going to be happening in the world landscape of professional wrestling. I would love to see TNA go to CW too. I don't think that would be a bad thing. Although I would have a hard time watching it because I have a hard time finding CW. I use Netflix for NXT. I wish TNA could go to NXT, but I mean TNA could go to Netflix. I mean, just like NXT. But they're not owned by WWE, so they don't have that access, I'm afraid. Abu Dhabi, huh, Drew? Okay. That's quite an exotic location. Yeah, the leading candidate I heard for buying Warner Brothers is Paramount. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, George, she's up to 12 or 13 at this point. Mercedes is. I can't tell you any of the belts she has, except for like the TBS title and the maybe 3 of them, but a bunch of indie belts. And some people are really impressed by that. All right. Well, based on the vignettes before the commercial break, I guess we're getting Zach Wentz and Jasper Troy up next. Yep, here we go. TNA Zach Wentz starting us off. 3-minute speed match. Yeah, NXT show would be a lot of fun to go to, especially a PLE. I mean, because they go out so far. Yeah, Dossie, I know. A Ring of Honor interim belt and then the Owen Hart belt. Apparently, those count. That's like calling Stephanie Vaquera double champ because she has the crown jewel title. Like, okay. For me, and I'm admittedly not an AEW fan, like the product just isn't for me, but every belt that Mercedes wins that's not Chris Statlander's AEW women's title just keeps bringing to my attention that she hasn't won the one title that actually matters in AEW. She won all the other little ones, but not the big one. And that doesn't seem to bother her. I feel like in kayfabe that should bother her, you know? But what do I know? I'm just a fan. The NXT tickets are far more affordable than the main roster stuff. I'll give you that. Oh, the 2 Americanos are here in the house watching the match, I guess, on behalf of their leader, this men's speed champion. All right, Jasper or Wentz, who you got? I'm going to say Jasper. For real, Angelo. I don't know that. I don't know that Mercedes will go back and drop them all either. Like, I mean, just the logistics of going to all those places and putting somebody over. It's a lot of work. Super kick by Wentz. Now going for a Hurricane Rana that doesn't do nothing. Will Jasper Troy get knocked off his feet? Let's see what happens. Well, one thing about NXT is they run smaller buildings and, you know, they have a smaller roster. Okay, well, Jasper Troy goes down that way. No, I think just the one mortgage for NXT tickets, as it turns out. All right, we're already down to under 2 minutes here. Corkscrew plancha there from Wentz takes down Troy. No, with NXT being based in Florida, I mean, they don't come out west very often unless it's for like a big show. Like Halloween Havoc's going to be in Arizona, but Swanton there from Wentz. I've got a very nosy channel mascot tonight. Sorry. He's just getting all up in the business. Hey, buddy. Black hole slam. 1 minute left. Is that going to do it? Yeah. Wentz is done. So Jasper Troy only needs 2 of the 3 minutes to make quick work of Zach Wentz, and he moves on to face the winner of Sean Legacy and Axiom. I'm not a huge Jasper Troy fan, but it's clear that they want him to be somebody. Kalani Jordan. Oh, they kicked Kalani out the locker room. Mm-mm-mm. Reminding Jordan she hadn't been a champion in NXT. Huh. So looks like Jordan and Kalani have a little tension between one another. We'll see what happens there. It is a little bit of a nice development that the other ladies of the NXT locker room have kind of shunned Kalani a little bit for choosing TNA. Although, like, Showdown was weird because I don't know if I like that or not because like they called it Invasion at first, but then all that backlash happened, and then they had to not call it Invasion anymore. And then you got Santino come out and be like, "We're not at war with each other. This is just a showcase. That's why we're calling it Showdown." And like, so if that's the case, you remove the sort of waging war element of rivalry. So why would they still be mad at Kalani for winning the Knockouts Championship and then still being on TNA? I don't know. Do you mean the Iron Survivor match, Sophie? I mean, maybe. We'll see. A and B combos in the house. I know. Takeover would have been the perfect name. All right. A and B combos. I am a proud member of NordVPN, and then I use Netflix to watch our beloved NXT each and every week. I'm just going off the screen name. All right. Yeah. I think my dog's on patrol right now. He's over checking out the window, making sure everything's okay. But all right, let's see. What do we got here? I missed a comment from Black Panther Gaming, BTC Panther Gaming. First statement promo from Fatal Influence and calling reminds me of Seth and Money in the Bank Vision solo bloodline. Yeah, oh yeah, please smash that like button, everybody. Just make that like button ask you nicely, like Braun Breaker before he gives up a title belt. And welcome to the chat, glad you're here, my friend. Hope you can rock with us tonight. By the way, A will be joining us tonight after the show as we discuss Halloween Havoc, which if we are indeed getting that tag match and the card holds, then we're going to be having 6 matches for Halloween Havoc so far, I believe. Because we had 5 going into the show tonight. We have the retaining that title. He's talking your junk already. Okay. Talk it already, You got you the champ, you can do the talking. Now. Yeah, you've got the NXT title match, you've got the North American title match, you've got the tag title match, you've got the women's title, women's North American title, and then Javon and Leon versus Mr. Iguana and La Parca, which just got added tonight. So, yeah. Watch it on a VPN, Sophie. Since NXT is broadcast, it's not like Raw on Netflix where it's just broadcast live all around the world at the same time. It's time zone restricted. So since I'm on the West Coast, I can't actually watch it while it's happening unless I use a VPN. Dark State. Uh-oh. The Hardys ran a little interference on Dark State's promo. Oh, Hardy kids. Oh, this is the Hardy compound. We knew you'd come. Oh boy, we're going broken. I'll tell you this. Out of that Dark State promo, Saquon, Lake of Reincarnation, Saquon and Dion both cut pretty good promos. I'll give them credit there. Again, Cutler and Osiris, I don't know. Oh, the boys have gone under the Lake of Reincarnation. How are they coming out? Are we going to get Broken Matt? Yep, I see Broken Matt. And Brother Nero. It is Halloween Havoc, so they got to come back all weird. Oh boy. Yeah. We're getting Broken Hardys versus Dark State on Halloween Havoc. Broken Rules match. Wait. Are they doing one of those like goofy B horror movie matches? Or is it just like an Extreme Rules match? Man, everything on their property is saying delete. Even the mailbox. A Broken Rules match. Huh. Okay. All right, Sol Ruca and Blake Monroe. They're still advertising that. Good. Oh, they are showing the tag title match from Friday. Sol tapping out to the figure 8. Huh. Okay, well, if there's an announcement, it looks like it's coming up right now. Oh, no. She's in a leg brace. Oh, boy. Oh, I don't like this. Because, listen, we've already done the stupid little Seth Rollins fake leg injury thing. Okay. While we're on break, let's theorize. What are we going to do? I really don't want her to vacate the title. I think they have a way out of this. If they would allow it, I would have. I mean, I guess it's still technically vacating the title. But what if Sol has Zarya fight for her at Halloween Havoc? If Sol can't go, could you imagine if they put Zarya in instead and Zarya wins the match for Sol? Imagine that. All right. It's time to do this. Here's what we do, everybody. Sol can't go. All right. She's injured. Zarya wrestles in her place. Zarya wins the North American title, or she defends the championship. And then when Sol Ruca is healed up, Zarya wants to keep the belt. And that is how they break up. Because Sol said, I never lost that title. Zarya said, you couldn't go, and I'm the champion now. The Speed Championship, that's tricky. At least Sophie right now, they are probably under the impression that they are distracting us with the men's tournament. So they can probably at least get us through the remainder of the year, but she may have to relinquish the Speed title. I think relinquishing the Speed title is better. So we'll see. Yeah, I love Minnie, but I'm not buying any other creator or dirt sheet content until I see it. One of the things I'm trying to do right now with my wrestling intake content is to ignore um, insider news with people and just enjoy the show as it's presented to me. Because something I've learned, and something I think a lot of wrestling fans could probably also learn from, is that when we go into a show with insider expectations, um, and then those expectations aren't fulfilled, we think the show sucks. But that's only because we already thought we knew what was going to happen, and the thing we wanted to happen didn't happen. And like that has ruined too many wrestling shows. To find perfectly serviceable and good wrestling shows get bad reactions because of people already thinking they know what should happen. And so I'm if you follow me on Twitter, I'm steady like blocking the dirt cheaters and commenting half the time like you don't need to put stock in what people report that's going to happen in WWE because most people don't know. Honestly, the thing that I just posed is that if Sol is actually not injured, this would be a good fake injury just to get the belt onto Zarya and do the thing that I said. She's a very good fake crier. What I'm really scared for, though, is that she tore her ACL. Uh, yep, here comes Blake. Also, I want to I want to draw everybody's attention to the fact that they did not say what her injury is. I'm curious that it may not be real. Here comes Blake. Nah, we're still getting a title match. Broken Hardy versus Decay match. Okay. I wish Ava would just go ahead and say it. Okay. The Rock's not going to fight in UFC, Drew. I wouldn't even consider it. There we go. Zarya is offering to defend the title for Soul. It's Soul's choice. Stop crying, Soul, and give your answer. Yeah, I think Zarya is going to win that match, and Soul's going to recover from her injury. And she's like, "Too late, girl. It's my belt now." And I'm not trying to say, "Oh, I'm right. Oh, I can see the future." But if my prediction is right, I am 100% all about that angle. Look out. F5. Oh, she just snatched that belt from Soul, too, to pose over Blake's prone body with it. I am not 100% convinced that Soul's injury is real. Yeah. Okay. Axiom and Sean Legacy coming up next for Speed. I'm very much looking forward to that. By the way, everybody, as the um, as the card is shaping up for Halloween Havoc, please stick around tonight after the show for some NXT Halloween Havoc predictions. Okay. Oh, Brock Lesnar. Oh, Brock. Okay. See, I thought Brock, Dro, I thought you were saying Rock, and I was like, ain't no way Rock is getting in the octagon. He is much smarter man than that. Brock, on the other hand, I think Brock, I don't know. Brock seems like he's made the money he wants to make, and he's just living his life. I mean, clearly he's still getting that WWE check, but whatever. So, well, George, I think if that happened, I think they would probably try to. This is a tricky thing because if they went the way that I was predicting, um, I believe they would want Sol Ruka to be the face in that situation, George, and they would want to turn Zarya heel to keep the title. But honestly, if Zarya actually fights and wins and defends the title cleanly, she's probably going to look more like a babyface in front of the crowd because she's earning it, you know? So that's actually quite an interesting conundrum there. I didn't think about that. So we'll see. We shall see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they're doing rumors about NXT stars coming up all the time. And I mean, the thing about rumor mongers and dirt sheet writers and stuff is that they're always throwing stuff out there so they can always say, "Oh, well, plans changed," or "See, we were right," you know, and like she'll come up to the main roster at some point 100% because she's got so much talent, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry for anybody to be called up who's currently there because the people who um uh the people the people who probably could do well are mostly being featured, and the people who aren't being featured right now that are worth a call up are probably getting ready to be called up at some point. And I would rather them get called up when there's a plan for them than them just be rushed up. You know what I mean? It's just how I feel about it. All right. So we're almost back from commercial here. Right. Yeah, Zarya does have, I think it's the Australian accent as part of it, but she does have a little bit of a Rhea Ripley toughness to her. Trick is absolutely ready for the main roster. Oba's ready for the main roster. Um, I think Jordan Grace could be ready for the main roster. Sol Ruka's probably ready for the main roster. Honestly, is whenever she feels ready, Blake Monroe could be ready for the main roster. You know what's interesting, Justin? I think Zarya would be more interesting as a heel, but I would keep her on NXT a little bit longer because once I saw her on the main roster, she's shorter than I thought she was. And so she doesn't look as imposing. Lola could be good on the main roster too. Miles Bourne and Tavion talking. Dro, at this point, Tom probably wins that fight because Brock has just been out of the fight game for too long. But he's a freak, though, man. Here comes Briggs talking trash to Tavion and Miles Bourne. Yeah, Sophie, I thought Jordan Grace was at least going to win a title in NXT, and I thought that might have been why they're keeping her down there, but I don't know why. If they're not going to do that, they might as well bring her up. Javon is also ready for a call up as well. All right, that's kind of funny. Josh Briggs basically saying, at least the fans still love you, knowing they dang well hate him. He's not too young. All right. Comes Sean Legacy and Axiom. 3 minutes. That's a heavyweight 1-round bout. I'm locked in for this match. This was, sliced bread. I'm looking forward. I've been looking forward to this match all week. So, Justin, if Javon comes up, I keep him as a single. It depends on who you pair with him to make a tag team. Man, an Asai moonsault into a curtain call type move. Could y'all imagine Jasper Troy versus El Grande Americano? Oh man, a springboard 450, nobody home, and Axiom now looking for the rings of Saturn, maybe? Nope. He gets out. Triangle choke. Uh-oh. Deadlift. Oh, Axiom kick Legacy right in the face. Spanish fly right off the ropes. We're down to a minute left. Oh man, what a sick super kick. Oh, jumping knee from Axiom. 30 seconds. $20. Legacy going up top. Kick from Axiom. Top rope Spanish fly. 7, 6, 5, 2, 3. Axiom gets the win with 3 seconds left. Man, that match picked up a lot of speed, no pun intended, towards the end. I got to say this. I would much rather see them in a regular match. Shawn Legacy was doing a lot of selling early on in the match when the time limit's only 3 minutes. That's a little tough. It makes the match feel really out of balance. So I didn't like that. I was a little let down by that match, but I would like to see them in a regular time limit match. I think it would be awesome. Yes, Angela, give them 15. Give them 15 instead of 3. They could tear the house down. But we're going to get Axiom versus Jasper Troy now next week. And I really hope they kind of abandon the Jasper Troy experiment here and that they give us Axiom versus El Grande Americano, which would be a lot of fun. Ethan Page promo, and he's putting over Dr. Wagner. Leon, Javon, and Axiom for the X Division title. Oh, Justin, that would be excellent. George, I don't think they're doing Jasper versus El Grande. I think it'll be Axiom. Somehow, some way, Axiom's going to walk away with that win, I think. Okay. Oh, snap. Look at that face paint. It's like Day of the Dead, but also Canadian. I hope he does the full face paint for that match. That is freaking dope. It looks like a Canadian Darby Allin now that I think about it, but whatever. Hank and Tank versus OTM, brought to you by Progressive, coming up next. It's a progressive tag team match where everyone uses their pronoun. I'm just kidding. So there we go. And now we got an ad for Evolve. Oh, Kendall Gray is the new Evolve Women's Champion. Okay. Way to go, Kendall Gray. She'll be coming back up to NXT sometime soon. I wonder if they're trying to do something with OTM because they ruined that number 1 contender tag match last week. Well, Justin, I think it's El Grande Americano Prime. I think it's the one who has had links to one Ludwig Kaiser, I do believe. So yeah, you could be bringing Kaylee Armstrong up. I mean, if Lash Legend or Jada Parker ends up coming up to the main roster at some point, you could absolutely have them have Kaylee come up and sort of fill in that gap that they would be leaving. So we'll see. Oh my goodness gracious. You know what? And forgive me, once we go Granada Meritalia. There we go. Once again, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. We will be doing Halloween Havoc predictions a few minutes after the show concludes tonight. And A from A&B Combos will be joining me. He'll be streaming in, and we'll be going over our predictions for Coalition predictions and see if he can defend his Coalition Cup this weekend with Halloween Havoc. So, Kaylee and Lash versus Jada and Lola Vice. My goodness gracious. That would be Teflon Don. Teflon Don, if you're still in the house, I got to know your take on a Kaylee Armstrong and Lash Legend versus Jada Parker and Lola Vice match. Would you be in the house for that tag team match? Let a man know. Did I see Killer Cross throw a woman through the ceiling? No, I did not. I'm guessing that was at an indie show and not a domestic issue. Man, you know what? I hate how Cross was done by his contract, but he seems from the things that I see peripherally and stuff since he left, he seems a lot more creatively free on the indies. And I know some guys really do thrive better creatively outside of WWE, and which is a shame because I think he wanted to be in WWE. He wanted to stay there, but it didn't seem like they were really going to let him do what he wanted to do with his character. It seems so, and also those contract disputes. But nevertheless, I'm glad that he's there. Glad that he's seems to be enjoying himself because he deserves it. He seems like a solid dude. What is my NXT dream match? Oh boy. That's a great question, Lockwood. Like all time, like anybody, or what, or just like current roster. Um, Give me some parameters because are we going all the way to black and gold? Or are we just keeping it to who we're seeing every week right now? That kind of stuff. Because I'll tell you one right now that links past and present: Obafemi and Samoa Joe. I would love to see those two guys go to war. Actually, you know what? Throw Keith Lee in there too, or Keith Lee and Obafemi. Come on, any of those dudes. It would be wild. Also, I know we'll never see him in another WWE ring again, and we don't have to. But before we found out how terrible of a person he was, if you could have given me Velveteen Dream versus Javon Evans, I think that would have been an amazing match too. Or Javon versus Ricochet. Wouldn't have been bad either. But give me Velveteen versus Javon. Would have been nuts. Current roster, like Raw or SmackDown versus NXT Superstar. Okay. All right. Well, I haven't even answered that question yet then. All right. Let's see. I'll be thinking on that, Lockwood. I'll let you know. Let's see. Raw or SmackDown versus an NXT Superstar. Here comes OTM. Montez Ford and Javon Evans wouldn't be a bad match. AOP versus Samoa Joe and Obafemi. Oh, that'd be sick. Here's one, Lockwood. Even though he's not with NXT anymore, I'm still going to count him. Yoshi Inamura versus Bronson Reed. I would take that. Javon and Drew would be a good matchup. Hank and Tank, a house of fire here. Crowd's chanting for OTM though. Oba, Gunther, Ilja, Fatu. Oh man, that'd be nasty work. I'd be seated the entire time for that for sure. I think Jacob Fatu and Trick Williams could have a fun match too. I think that would be underrated. Ricky Saints backstage already talking to Ava. Trick and Truth. Javon and Fatu. Actually, that would go well. AJ and Javon would be good too. Yeah, the women's tag match is probably going to be our main event since it was our opening segment. Then it's the main event match. So Oba and AJ, yeah, for sure. Oba and Brock. That's I've been calling for that. Yeah, Ricky and Cody. The promos would be fun there. Rick RT, Hong Kong, happy to be here, man. Good to see you. Oh, hot tag into Tank. Here we go. I mean, the crowd has been chanting for OTM, but I feel like it's just a welcome back chant. I mean, if anything, because they just interrupted a match last week and barely had a promo. We're doing good, Rick RT. We got at least one more match tonight, where Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame are going to be taking on Fatal Influence. I believe Fallon Henley and Laney Reed. And after the show, me and A from A&B Combos will be giving our Halloween Havoc predictions. So just stick around for that, and we'll have a good time. Uh-oh. Tank is outnumbered. Double team. And OTM goes over Hank and Tank clean. Where's OTM been? Was one of them hurt? I wonder if they will pair them up with Jada at all again. Well, they're still talking about Tank. Come on. Oh, they got steps. Oh. Crack and Hank and Tank with the steps. Oh, man. A double Razor's Edge sort of into the announce table. Okay. Man, a major impression made by OTM. Ren Sinclair backstage with Maybelline. I remember, don't do anything stupid. She's like, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, Kendall's here. Lash looking like she can crush somebody. All right, it's main event time, I guess. Fatal Influence already making their way out to the ring. Oh, so I guess we are going to get the contract signing as the final segment. I forgot all about the world title. It's crazy. or if I'm Hangman Page, the men's world title. Okay. All right, all right. Interesting. So would Fallon be the one who's not going to wrestle? I would just assume Fallon's going to be one of the ones wrestling. That's interesting. We shall see. Well, what's you guys' favorite, your most anticipated Halloween Havoc match this weekend? So we've got, 6 on the card so far. Just to give you guys a recap, we got JC Jane versus Tatum Paxley. We've got the Broken Hardys versus Dark State in a Broken Rules match for the NXT tag titles. Ricky Saints and Trick Williams, Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr., Zarya versus Blake Monroe, and Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus La Parka and Mystery Iguana. So those are our 6 matches on tap for this weekend for Halloween Havoc. I got to say, I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested in both women's matches, and I'm interested in that tag match for between Javon and Leon versus La Parka and Mystery Iguana. I think those are all going to be very, very entertaining. So we'll see. We'll see what comes to fruition for sure. Okay. Oba versus Lesnar. I would be seated and ready for Oba versus Lesnar. I would be super excited for that match. Oh man. I would really like to see Tatum win her Tatum win the title. Um, I assume, from there, Tatum and Izzy would probably feud, you think? Um, but yeah, I have earned JC Jane has earned a lot of respect for me with her title reign, but I'm ready to move on from her for sure. Yeah, I have a feeling Tatum is gonna get the pin tonight. I have a feeling Tatum and Izzy will be going into Halloween Havoc with that momentum. Uh, I yeah, just don't I don't think it'll be any other way, but we'll see what happens. All right, running down that card. Dark State versus the Hardy Boys. Sounds like they're playing Blake Monroe's theme in the background. Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr. Day of the Dead match for the North American title. And then another tag team match we just discussed: Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus La Parka and Mr. Iguana. Can't wait to. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. That match is for sure. I don't know yet if I'll be live for Halloween Havoc yet. So I would like to be, but I my Saturdays have been a little busy in the fall with family events, so we'll just see how that works. But by November, this will be the last weekend probably. I'll have a difficult, actually November 1st, the Saturday night's main event. That'll be the last Saturday. I'll probably have a hard time making a stream. So we'll see what happens. All right, Laney Reed and Tatum Paxley starting off in our tag match. Big Tatum chance. Woo! Tatum threw it in there. Tatum throwing potatoes. Laney was in that walking boot, yeah, but I have a feeling maybe that was a work. JC or Gender, which win surprised me more? Gender, 100%. I never thought Gender would be a world champion. JC I thought was unlikely, and I was shocked, but Gender for sure. I was like, this is not real. Are they singing the Addams Family theme? They're calling Tatum Paxley Tuesday Addams. Oh my gosh. That's actually not a bad, it's not a bad name. Cross body into the corner. Could I see Izzy pinning JC? I mean, it's possible, right, George? I don't. That wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like Tatum may get the pin, or JC. I think the champion or the challenger is going to need the pin in this match. Whoa. Okay, nice roll through by JC there. Black versus Ricky, or Zarya versus Rhea versus Akira. That wouldn't be bad, that triple threat. Here comes Laney back in, but she gets tilt-a-whirled by Izzy. Spear in the corner. Tatum back in now. Yeah, Laney could take the pin. All right, Tatum taking care of business on both members of Fatal Influence here. Crowd is fired up. Oh, Fallon eats the drop kick. JC pulled Fallon in, and hangman neckbreaker from Laney Reed. Charlie Dempsey is in Japan. They did do a little backstage skit there with Ren Sinclair tonight before she ran afoul of Lash Legend. And they had her talking to Charlie on the phone. And she was just promising she wasn't going to do anything stupid. I know JC has really been sort of abusing her members of Fatal Influence this whole time. And they seemed like they were poised to fight back, and then they made the switch with Jasmine Nix and Lainey Reed. Justin, that would be a hard hitting match there for sure. Okay. Guys, I have to step on the porch really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, Justin, Fallon is she's present. She's been ringside. She's just not in the tag match tonight, which we were kind of surprised that she wasn't one of the people on the tag team. I assumed it would be Laney and Fallon and not JC, but it's JC and Laney instead. Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way, if you hadn't hit it tonight, and stick around after the show for NXT Halloween Havoc predictions with me and A versus, from A&B Combos. All right, Izzy Dames, a House of Fire here, taking on both members of Fatal Influence by herself. Coming off the second rope, double code breaker. Crowd's getting behind Izzy. Choke slam. You know, Rick George, I don't remember seeing the Cullings entrance. And so I don't know that they came down for this match. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see who's going to take the pin here as well. Oh, big super kick from JC Jane to Tatum Paxley. She's spaghetti legged now. Oh, reversal though. Uh-oh. Oh, only two for Tatum, who hit a big reversal move there. Oh, Laney with a super kick on Izzy, but eats a clothesline from Izzy. Now we're back to JC and Tatum. So this is awesome chance from the crowd. Leg kick from JC. And then, oh, she was going for a pump kick, but gets rolled up. Only 2. Tatum with a stand-in enziguri. Fallon's coming to distract, but Izzy's coming to take care of that. She drops Fallon, but Fallon lands inside the ring. Laney drags Izzy out the ring. Fallon's still in there. She's out of the ring. JC, hits that spinning elbow. 1, 2, 3. JC gets the clean pin on Tatum. That could actually mean something good for Tatum this weekend. But Fatal Influence is still double teaming Izzy on the outside, throw her into the steps. So Fatal Influence is just wrecking shop on the Culling ladies here. And now all 3 of them are cornering Izzy. Does she have another friend in the building? The crowd is chanting for Lyra, but is she here? Oh, she's being held up. Swing. Oh, all right. Tatum fighting her way out. She's going to take out all 3 by herself. And now Tatum lands her finish on JC right in the middle of the ring. And now Tatum is standing tall. She lost the match, but she's standing tall now and holding the belt. Now I don't know. Now, before that, it certainly felt like Tatum might win. Can she win the title? And she took out all 3 of them by themselves while Izzy was recovering on the outside. Izzy looking proud, though. She's recovered. We'll see what happens. I see Trick Williams backstage. He'll be making his way out soon for a contract signing to Ricky Saints. I have to adjust my thinking every week to remember that Ricky Saints is NXT champion. I've been so used to Oba being the champion. I'm just having to get used to Ricky, man. I don't know how you guys feel, but deep in my heart of hearts, I still believe in Oba. What can I say? I mean, Tatum might do it, George. You're right. She might. There's a chance she might. We'll see what happens. Yeah, absolutely. It is. We are a few minutes away from contract signing time, which means we are 100% sending somebody through a table. Okay. And again, Halloween Havoc just a few days away. And we will see what NXT has in store cooking for us at that time. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of intrigue in the women's division right now, because there's really such a level playing field, with Julia and Stephanie Vaquer leaving. It really is anybody's division, like with Blake Monroe not being all the way up at the world title picture yet. You really can believe almost anybody's got a shot, which actually has been low-key the nice thing about JC Jane's title reign is that more than ever, on more than one occasion, I thought we were going to see a title change. I thought we would see it with Lola Vice. I thought we were going to see it with Jordan Grace. I'm trying to remember who else she's been challenged by. Um, and that is the nice thing to having a proverbially speaking beatable champion in that role is you never are 100% sure if someone's going to drop the title. So that's made things interesting. Yeah, Justin. I mean, it would be wild. It would be wild if we had somebody from TNA show up after Mike Santana's already won the TNA title back. I was thinking about Oba though, man. I don't know what he's up to. But and while I think he would make a massive impression in the Royal Rumble, I'm not naive. I know that's 3 months away, and that's a long time for him to be off TV. So knowing that it would be more like 4 months he'd been off TV to debut him there, that's a lot. So I don't know, man. Four of the most indie security guards standing on the apron. After Sol Ruka, Shamanika. So Sol Ruka is not medically cleared to compete. So Zarya is going to defend the North American title against Blake Monroe for Sol Ruka at Halloween Havoc. OTM pretty much destroyed Hank and Tank in a tag match. And then JC Jane pinned Tatum Paxley clean in a tag match. But Tatum Paxley got a revenge and laid out all three members of Fatal Influence after the match. And yeah, other than that, this is kind of where we are now. Contract signing time between Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. What you looking at, buddy? Sorry. Puppy over here. Come here. Come here. It's behind my chair. No problem, Shamanika. Glad to give a little bit of an update. But yeah, Halloween Havoc is shaping up to be a really entertaining card as always. So we'll see what we got. We're waiting. Here comes Ricky Saints. Booker T just said, "I'm hyped up, y'all," for Trick's entrance, and Vic Josephs just said, "Yeah, I'm down a couple of gummies." No wonder. These two are so unserious. Hmm. I still think Ricky should be a heel. I do not I do not connect with babyface Ricky Saints, um, but that's just me. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think they'll turn him yet, but I think he'll really hit his stride when he turns heel. Like Ethan Page. Like, could you imagine Ethan Page as a babyface? Booker gets way more hype for the Devil's Kiss, I think, than but it's close. Trick said, "You mad because you champion? I'm still the main eventer." Mm. Shimonica, I think those are both really good choices for deadline winners. Do I look like I belong on the Indies? Justin, Halloween Havoc is on Saturday. Me and Rashizi, good to see you. We're looking forward to Halloween Havoc, man. Right at the end of the show here in the next few minutes, we're going to bring on A from A&B Combos to do the Halloween Havoc predictions. So stick around. Ricky's at least fired up about something. Are they barking in each other's face now? They're gonna separate them. Oh, cheap shot from Trick. And now the security guards all took bumps outside the ring. Who's going through the table? Trick. I think Trick's going to try to put Ricky through. Is it going to work out? Nope. Oh. Ricky kind of F5'd him through the table. So Trick went through the table. Okay. Well, there we go. We'll see what we got coming through the PLE this weekend. But right now, Ricky standing tall over Trick. Ricky's still talking his junk over the prone body of Trick Williams. Yeah, Broken Rules, Hardys versus Dark State. Coming down the Halloween Havoc card again. This Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And then Women's Championship, Tatum Paxley and JC Jane. Will this be Tatum's time? And don't forget, Javon and Leon versus Laparca and Mr. Iguana. And Lieska, of course. And then, of course, the North American title Day of the Dead match, no DQ. Ethan Page defending against Dr. Wagner Jr. Then Ricky Saints and Trick Williams for the NXT title. There we are. That is your Halloween Havoc card. They didn't mention Zarya defending the North American title against Blake Monroe as well, but that's also happening this weekend. All right, everybody, that is NXT for this week. Drop your ratings in the chat. What you think? And we shall see. Hear me or not. Looks like I'm reloading. There we go. Yeah, and let me know what your favorite moment of the night was for sure. As we'll be joining, let's see, for we'll be joining up with A shortly for predictions for Halloween Havoc as well. Now, I gotta say, solid NXT show. You know, we'll see what brings us. You know what Halloween Havoc brings us. You like that final segment? Okay, 10 out of 10 says Justin Allen Crane. Chin up, chest out, watch out for the spear. Sean said, I miss when Chucky used to host Halloween Havoc. Oh, man, those were the days for sure. All right. Shamanica says 9 out of 10. Okay. Great ratings all around. I think I'll give it a solid 8 this week. It should be, it was a good show. It was a good show all around. And yeah, I'm excited to see what we get, you know, from Halloween Havoc this weekend. I think it's going to be very, very telling, and you know, should tell us a little bit more about what's coming for the future towards the end of the year for Halloween Havoc and for NXT in general. So it'll be exciting to see what is on the way. You got to see Tatum win and lose. Promo was an 8. Okay. Like the Dark State and Broken Hardy segment. Yeah. Okay. I'm for that. I was really surprised to see La Parka and Mr. Iguana show up to challenge Javon and Leon. So just even the revelation of that match, and also not so much the emotion of it all, but the developments of the women's North American title. I'm interested to see what happens there as well. So we'll see what's in store, you know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, obviously, you know, we still got SmackDown coming this week. We'll see what happens in the aftermath of Cody and Drew. You know, we've got a new United States champion, Ilya Dragunov. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Get the clown. What clown? Oh, the Psycho Clowns. Yeah. That's true. I didn't think about that. But I'm happy that we're getting who we get though. I'm excited to see La Parka at NXT. Yeah, I'm just listing our. Let's see. Listing our card for Halloween Havoc here as we prepare for predictions time. So just getting that up and ready and going. Oh me, oh my. Let's see. Nico Thompson gives NXT a 10 out of 10. It was a good show tonight. And yeah, I mean, it was a great show for sure. Again, you know, we've got quite a card for us this weekend at Halloween Havoc. So I think it's going to be a real good time for sure. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys again so much just for being with me. And we'll be starting up our our Halloween Havoc predictions soon, and go from there into the card shortly. Did the Psycho Clowns ever face the Wyatts? I don't think so, Dossie. I mean, I remember when I think it was Pagano and Psycho Clown, yeah, who no, it was Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana who showed up to SmackDown to face Los Garza that time. But I don't think they have come across the Wyatts. That would be a lot of fun though. Justin asks, have you seen the Natalya interview with Chris Van Vliet? I have not seen it in its entirety, but I did see a few clips from it, like in his, he always cuts up his interviews and posts different clips. And I saw her talking about Tyson Kidd's neck injury, which was, yeah, I mean, that was pretty emotional as well. And I didn't realize, I mean, obviously I knew it was a serious injury because, he had to retire after that, but I didn't realize that he apparently walked it off. He walked off a broken neck, which is just insane. Like the toughness of these wrestlers. I mean, sometimes they don't know the severity of the injury, when they're recovering right away. And but just their ability to, I wouldn't say act like nothing's wrong, but just like go out under their own power is just wild to me sometimes. So, and then I also heard her tell a story where apparently Wentz tried to pitch a storyline for her where she'd be farting all the time, which I'm so glad that didn't happen. I'm just so very glad that didn't happen. Just would have been really, really upsetting. Natalya's had a hard enough time in her career not being taken seriously as a wrestler, given the pedigree that she has as a performer. So yeah. Anyways, whew, yeah. But that's from what I've seen, that looks like a really good interview. You guys should check it out. Natalya, obviously, wrestling royalty coming from the Heart Dungeon, and she talks about Owen some. Okay, I didn't actually hear that part. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Tyson Kidd's neck injury was from taking, I think, the Muscle Buster from Samoa Joe. I 100% agree, Shimonica. I think Natalya, if they allowed her to be Natty Neidhart in the, if they allowed her to be Natty on the main roster, I think she could really fly. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. Because seeing her in other areas, it would be something else. All right. Well, you guys asked for it. You wanted it. You got it. Allow me, let me see, to stall for a second and then bring in and introduce my spiritual brother. We had our own mothers and fathers, but we're here to talk professional wrestling, mainly Halloween Havoc. It's A from AMB Combo. What?
Yes, strive to be number one.
From one studio and beautiful LA to another. How are you?
I'm well. Am I heard? Can you hear me okay? Am I good?
We hear you. We hear you loud and clear.
Well, let me go ahead and say, I just want to, for the people out there, I want to thank you. No, I'm not gonna do my brave, but I do have a special
Okay.
guest. She's coming in to say hello all
All
the way
right.
across the pond. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you B.
What's up, people?
Hey.
I miss you guys.
Welcome to the chat.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. B is in the house to give a little bit of love to the one and only Mark by Wrestling and everybody in the chat. We got Shimonica, we got George, we got Justin, we got Rick RT, Sophie Dofi in here. Steven?
She
What up,
was at some
Sophie?
point. Dossie is here as well. I
BTC
know
Black
Sophie
Panther
was here at some
Gaming.
point. Yeah.
Sophie
Wow.
was here. Justin Hollencrane. We got all the greats, all the favorites in here.
All
So
the
we got the
people's
people.
up in
George
there.
Lewis. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Sophie
Yes,
gets a little
indeed.
tired of me after a
Dawson
while. So
Tatum.
she might have jumped. Yeah.
So give B some love. Everybody's giving you some love. We miss you too, B. Oh.
Aw. I'll jump in the chat with you guys.
All right, she's jumping in the chat and get off my
All
phone.
right.
Get off my phone, woman. I mean,
Get off my
we'll
phone.
see you in the chat. Love you. Bye.
All right, man. Well, normally I try to get fancy with these predictions, but NXT slacking a little on the graphics this month. So I got like half the card, so I'm just not going to do it at all. But here we are. I mean, they really. It's funny because I'm looking even at the background, and I think Oba is on the poster, and the boy hadn't been on TV since he dropped the title. So
yeah, I noticed that.
it is what it is, but it's all good. But nevertheless, don't let bad marketing strategy get in the way of a good wrestling card. We're going to have quite a good amount of fun here getting through predictions here. Now, for those of you who don't know, although everybody here are regulars, so you should know. If you don't know, now you know. You should know at this point that the Coalition Cup is up for grabs, and our defending champion is the man of multiple channel mascots and many a memorabilia from A&B Combos, our reigning Coalition Cup predictions champion. And while I'm getting some things ready, Justin is asking you how you felt about Ilya Dragunov.
Man, let me tell you. I have a special place in my heart for the Russian community, the Ruskies, if you will. Not just because I watched White Knights with Gregory Hines back in the day. If you all don't know, you might want to check that film out. That is one of the greats. But I managed a complex that was USSR Russian. Okay. From the old country. And they are when you're talking about that cold exterior, they are not kidding. But once you barrel through all that and you see the warm, gooey center, they love you. And that is why I have a special place in my heart for Ilya Dragunov. He's got that cold exterior, okay, but he's actually, as from what I can see, a pretty decent guy. And I love the fact that he's not a big guy, but he is a rabid guy, not the rabid Wolverine. Not mentioning names, but he is a rabid guy. He is somebody that is going to hurt you. This is somebody that wants to hurt you. He had some bangers back with Walter. I mean, they got down with the get down. And I love the fact that after basically a year on the shelf due to injury, my man comes back and puts Sami Zayn in the dirt. The right man won that match. Long live Ilya Dragunov.
Amen. So you're telling me when you get to know a mad dragon, a mad Russian, you find that they may not be exactly what you thought at first. So
I will say they will tell it like it is. It's like a New Yorker. People out here don't really care for New York City folk because there's no fluff. They don't beat around the bush. They just tell it like it is. And it is basically black licorice. You're either going to like it or you're not.
Yeah.
And that's how it is with Ilya Dragunov. He doesn't mince words. He's not trying to coddle you. He's like, look, I'm just letting you know I got nothing against you. I got no beef with you. But when we go out there, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to beat you. And that's the end of that.
You learn to love it. Yeah.
Love it.
So, in other words, if you could change, and I could change,
Everybody
can change.
Hearts on fire. Yeah, so why you
Underrated soundtrack, man. Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Listen, man. Listen,
Great
man.
soundtrack.
You know, you're a Rocky 1 and 2 person, or you're like a Rocky 3 and 4 person. You know,
Yep.
when
Yep.
it comes to the original, and it's okay whichever one you are, but it says something about what kind of movies you like, depending on which one you fall under, and there's a certain amount of grandiose silliness to Rocky 4, but it works.
Yes.
Which is very
Yes.
pro wrestling, honestly. It seems silly when you try to describe it to somebody, but if you sit in it and experience it, you know, it's a great thing. So,
But I got to tell you, I'm glad you mentioned that. We talked about this offline privately, but something we haven't done, that once a month on your channel movie talk.
right.
And just saying,
maybe we should go through the Balboa family tree.
just saying.
Maybe we should do that. Talk a little Rocky, a little Creed, maybe some of that.
Something to think
yeah.
about.
All right. Yeah. You don't think about it. You know.
Yeah.
Think it over. I'm thinking. It's okay.
Well, we're
Right.
regular
I like
people, but we can talk
like
about
that.
it.
Yeah. I mean, that ain't you and me no more. You know. Speaking of ain't you and me no more, I think that's a good a time as any to start with the with the card for Halloween Havoc.
All right. What do we got?
For the NXT tag team titles. Tonight we saw Matt and Jeff at the Hardy compound they purified themselves in the waters of the Lake of Reincarnation.
Love it.
And arose as the Broken Hardys. And it looks like we're getting what is called a Broken Rules match for the NXT tag team titles. Broken Matt and Brother Nero taking on Dark State for the tag team titles. What do you think we're doing here?
You know, that's a great question. I've been thinking about this. First and foremost, I like the fact that we got 2 belt Hardys. I just like people having 2 belts for a little while.
Well, this is a great time to be a fan.
It's a fantastic time to be a fan. Dark State likes to come in and mess with everybody's Kool-Aid, and as they should.
The flavor.
And they are what Retribution sought to be. I will say that much. I thought about this earlier, and I was actually saying to myself, I wonder how long they're going to allow the Hardys to hold on to both of these, considering the fact that they technically don't go here. You know, we have an accord with TNA, but they've had the titles now. Has it even been a month?
They won it at Showdown, so that was it's been about a month.
Yeah. And this is their first defense of those titles, if I'm not mistaken.
They defended when they were with the Dudleys at Bound for Glory. I don't think it was the NXT titles. I think they were defending the TNA titles.
It was the TNA titles. Yeah. And which, by the way, I know why they did it, and I appreciate why they did it. I wouldn't have been mad if the Dudleys actually won that match, but that's just me. That's just me. They could have taken the titles. They still could have given them the boots. That still could have been a thing.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. For their first title defense of the NXT championships, I feel like they shouldn't drop them and they should retain. I think the issue is one, like I think you had said it in one of your lives. These are not necessarily the Hardys of old. They don't move quite the same way. You know, Jeff still does what he can do. Yeah. I love a good swanton, but the reality is, what are we talking about? You know, I love to see him on NXT television, but I think it's also a numbers game. And they got tag titles. They can go on them back over to TNA and do their thing. As much as it pains me to say this, I got to go Dark State.
Okay. A is saying Dark State. I feel you on that one. If I'm being honest here, like I think I feel like the Hardy switch was a good, it was a feel good moment. It was checking it was sort of checking a box for the Hardys' career as well, a title that they that they never had. And you can say that they've held every tag belt that was up for grabs when they were in WWE now. That they were eligible for anyways. So I think that has been checked off the list. I'm wondering about the future of the tag division, and I think there are some interesting possibilities coming down the pipe after what we've seen tonight for tag teams in the NXT division, in the NXT tag division. But I think for them to make sense, they got to I might just pause on myself here real quick.
Uh-oh.
And make myself a hypocrite. I'm going to go with the Hardys.
Snap.
I'm going with the Hardys, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this young and old thing we're talking about, right? As you were talking, everything you said makes sense, The Hardys, they're decorated. They've been given their flowers. They're holding both sets of belts, which is all great. Everybody loves them and stuff. But yeah, when I see Matt move around in the ring, I get a little sad. It's kind of like when you had, some old head from your church show up after surgery and he still wants to be moving all the chairs around and be like, we love you, man, but you don't have to come in and work. Like, we'll just come in and love you, and you can just sit and enjoy the show, and you're welcome here. But you don't have to roll your sleeves up no more, man. Like you've done all that. And Jeff can still hit that swanton, but we got some newer swanton models at home now. And that is where I'm headed, because I was sitting here thinking, and we'll get to this match in a second, this bromance between Leon Slater and Javon Evans, I think is going to get some tag gold. And I don't know when, but I think it may happen sooner rather than later. And my first thought was like, oh, well, then Dark State's got to win, because if they're going to win the titles, they got to take them from heels.
Yeah.
But how much sweeter would it be? And do you think Matt and Jeff how much they would want to put over Leon and Javon as a team? Kind of some and some torch passing. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. But I'm gonna hope in that until I'm not allowed to hope in it anymore. So I'm gonna go for the Hardys in that. And if you're in the chat, if you want to drop your prediction, I'll add it to the list. But if you haven't been studied up and you don't want to predict this round, that's okay too. Nevertheless, speaking of Team Levon, as I accidentally called them during the broadcast,
Levon,
and he shall be Levon. Sorry, Elton John fans in the house, if any of y'all know that song. Anyway, great song. Nevertheless, Leon Slater and Javon Evans having a love fest in the ring tonight, putting each other over, getting hyped in front of the crowd, and decide that they want to be a tag team, and they issue an open challenge to NXT, to the main roster, to TNA. And before they can get AAA out of their mouths, La Parka and Mr. Iguana show up, Halloween Havoc ready. And we're going to have a special tag match of Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus La Parka and Mr. Iguana. It's the only non-title match of the show tonight, this weekend. Javon and Leon versus La Parca and Mr. Iguana. NXT and TNA versus AAA, single A. Who do you got?
Before I answer, did you catch B's answer? She's going for the Hardys. She answered that in the chat there.
Okay, she knows she got the Hardys. Okay, when I say caught up, I meant like the whole card, but it's all good. All good.
Keep listening. B, we will ask you for your prediction so you can get in on the action because
we'll put hers.
Gold is on the line
up on the screen too. I don't need to be caught up. I know I have the Hardys.
But I'm going to go NXT on this one.
Okay.
Iguana and company, they've taken L's. They can take an L. Again, it's association. I'm sure it'll be a fun match. Iguana is always anybody from AAA. It's always good to watch. But at the end of the day, I think this young team needs the dub, if you will, if they're going to be in contention for championship gold. And I'm talking about NXT championship gold. I'm sure the Hardys would love to put them over if they retain, but it might make a little more sense if NXT versus NXT for those titles. And I can see them going against Dark State for it. So I'm still going to stick to my guns on my first prediction, and I'm going for NXT on this one.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, as soon as they even just announced like tonight that Leon and Javon wanted to tag together, I'm like, oh, we're about to have something special here. Like it feels like, you know, this young blood version of the bar coming out here, like just two banger match having bros showing up and deciding to steal the show. So if they're absolutely doing that, I think we'll have a fun match. I've seen this iteration of La Parca when we streamed. It was either Worlds Collide or Triple Mania, I forget, one of those late night AAA shows. And he was fantastic. And he can go in that ring. He's very spry. Mr. Iguana always brings the entertainment as well, and he can go as well. So I'm sure he'll have La Yesca with him, La Fresca, whatever you want to call that that lizard. But yeah, I think this match is built to showcase the young OG and the YIC, and Leon and Javon all day, every day on this match for sure.
I love it.
Let us know what you think, and we'll highlight you on the screen as well. Okay, coming up next, it's time to discuss some North American titles. We'll start with the men. So Ethan Page, our Canadian North American champion, is defending against El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr., AAA's Latin American champion, but only the North American title is on the line. And it's in a Day of the Dead match, which I'm led to believe is just a no DQ Extreme Rules match, which I want to give a shout out to Ethan Page and NXT's makeup department. He had this like Canadian Darby Allin thing going on tonight when he cut a promo. He was doing this side profile with just his face, you know, cutting a promo on the match. And he turned and he had this Day of the Dead half face paint with the Canadian maple leaf on it. And that thing went so hard. I cannot describe how impressed I was by it for something that he's probably just doing for the promo. But if he shows up in that face paint, though, I'm going to geek out over that. I thought that was excellent. I'm going to go first this time. I don't know how WWE is going to continue to treat their newly acquired or new partnerships when it comes to belts. But Ethan Page is on such a run right now as North American champion. I would be far more interested in seeing him win the Latin American title from Dr. Wagner rather than Dr. Wagner winning the North American title. You know what I mean? And him being, you know, the all-American champion. You know, he's North American and Latin American because he's already expanded the North American title to more reflect Canada anyways. And so Ethan doesn't have a chance to win the Latin American title here, and I don't think they're going to take that belt off of him right now, especially with the NXT tag titles already on TNA Talent. I just don't. I don't think they're going to do that with the North American title, at least not with Dr. Wagner. I imagine maybe if it had been somebody else on AAA's roster, maybe, but just from what I'm judging, Dr. Wagner seems solid for AAA, but he doesn't seem like a crossover star like a Mr. Iguana or the Psycho Clowns or the Kingo or any of those guys. So I'm gonna say Ethan, especially, and I think that Extreme Rules, that Day of the Dead rules is going to help him out a bit. So I'm going to go with Ethan Page.
I love it. B dropped her prediction. She's going for NXT with Javon and company as well.
Okay. We are all in agreement.
In regards to this, and B, make sure you've got your listening ears in on this one. This is either going to be NXT or AAA. I'm also going to say NXT. At this juncture, I do not see AAA grabbing the North American Championship. I'm not even 100% sure they would necessarily get any WWE Championship over there on their television. So yeah, I'm going Lego my ego Page all day.
Okay. All ego. Oops.
All ego.
All right, Ethan Page. Love it. All right. Well, we go to one North American title to another, and things have gotten very, very soap opera-y on us very quickly. What was originally scheduled to be Sol Ruca defending the women's North American title against Blake Monroe has now taken a left turn. Tonight, Sol Ruca coming out doing her best Seth Rollins impression with a leg brace and crutches with Zarya and Ava. Very emotional, in tears. Now, I want to hit timeout real quick before we get to the actual match itself that's been announced. I just want to draw everybody's attention to the fact that they never said what her actual injury was in this segment. They just said she's not medically cleared, and they showed a recap from Zaruka's tag title match against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss on SmackDown. They did not show they did not show an incidental moment where Sol Ruca sustained an injury. They showed her being attacked by Charlotte from behind when she was distracted by Blake Monroe, showed her tapping out to the figure 8. And maybe they don't know when the injury happened, or maybe it ain't all legit. Maybe it's a kayfabe injury. And I don't want to cast aspersions on that in any way. If she is really hurt, my heart is broken for Sol Ruca, because she tore an ACL over a year ago and was out for a year. And she is riding so high now that double champ, speed title, North American title. And Ava even mentioned, by the way, just another seed of doubt, by the way. Ava mentioned the speed title, and Sol cut her off and said, I don't want to talk about the speed title right now. And so they have not announced any plans for the speed title, but Blake comes out and says, I'm the number one contender, darling, and everything. Like, just give me the belt now. And the ongoing drama surrounding Sol and Zarya is that Sol has all the belts and Zarya really never has a chance to win a title. And when she does, something happens and gets in her way. And sometimes that something is Sol by accident. Zarya has now volunteered and offered to Sol to defend. And I want to say this clearly. She said, I will defend the title for you at Halloween Havoc against Blake Monroe. And they all agreed to it. So the match is now Zarya versus Blake Monroe for the North American title instead of Sol Ruca, who is now out due to injury. now that we are a little up to speed on the dramatics of it all, what do you think? And if you need time, you don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with Soul. It breaks my heart if it's legit. That kind of sucks. I'm glad she was able to come out and at least say something and do something. They've been, I love the relationship that Zarya and Soul have had and built. I know they've had a couple of missteps.
Mhm.
And of course, as we've seen with tag teams, they do the tease.
Mhm.
Zarya came in one way, they switched it up, and she's now something else. On paper, this should be a successful title defense for Zarya.
Okay.
But I cannot underestimate the ability of Blake Monroe. She's actually been hanging with the tough one. She's been stomping with the big dogs and holding her own. And I can see her pulling out a victory here. I got to tell you, I think that'd be the twist in the knife in between Zarya and Sol Ruka somehow, some way. I got Blake Monroe.
Okay. I think that's fair. Just mark you down right here. So honestly, when Soul was still in this match, I was ready to pick Blake to win. But now I'm feeling a little different. And I'll tell you why. I couldn't do this yesterday when we were hosting Raw together, but I can do it now.
Okay.
What I would love to see from this. Now, here's the thing, is that it doesn't work out so well for Blake, but honestly, Blake is so ready, I think. She could lose this match and find her way into the world title picture, as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, I have a hyperactive channel mascot running around the kitchen.
I know the feeling.
Just gonna peek around the corner there just to make sure nothing's being destroyed. Okay, so we're all good. This is something I would really love to see from a storytelling standpoint is that Zarya wins this match. And again, the language around Sol Ruka is she's not medically cleared to compete. They did not say I tore my ACL. It did not say I hyperextended my knee. Did not say any of those things. She came out with crutches and a brace and the whole thing. What if 2 to 3 weeks, Zarya has won that match and continued to defend that title, and Sol Ruka says, "Hey, I'm all better now. Thanks for holding my belt for me." And at that point, Zarya's like, "What do you mean we? It's my belt now, girl. Come take it."
Oh, that hurts. That hurts my heart.
And that would hurt. But that is the sticking point that has created a divide in them. If she actually gets a title, and the wild thing about that is, the only thing I don't know if that would work is someone in the chat, I'm trying to remember who it was, has said multiple times, Soul is like the old Jay. Jay has said it. Soul is the ultimate babyface, which is true. In that situation, don't you kind of want to back Zarya a little bit? She's finally fought and earned something on her soul, on herself, for herself. She's gotten in the ring and earned it and done it on her own. And then Soul's just like, give me my belt back. I feel like that would be kind of entitled. So anyway, I don't know what'll happen, but and listen, if Blake comes out as the champion, I'm happy with that too. I'm not happy that she couldn't beat Soul for it, because I want Blake to have some credibility when she becomes a champion as well. Although with her character, I guess she doesn't really have to have credibility because of the kind of heel she is. But I'm going to see if they will go the long route with that. And I'm going to pick Zarya.
I love it. B had a comment, Stephen, if you want to take a look at that. Yeah.
Yes, very similar. I think we're saying very similar things. I think the twist is that, as you said, she's fighting for Soul. So therefore, Soul comes out to claim her title from Zarya, and they start painting Zarya as the superface and Soul as a villain. I mean, I have a hard time picturing Soul as a heel in my brain, right now, but like that is, I feel like that's what it would look like though. You know, if she comes out and does you a solid and wins the belt for you, and then she comes back, although it worked with Naomi and Jade, but Naomi was the one who injured Jade. So I guess that was, you know, that's kind of the part there. So that part, forget about that. Nevertheless. Okay. So there we are.
That's
there
wild.
we are.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Did
That hurts my heart. But I wouldn't mind seeing a heel soul. That'd be kind of cool.
it would be an interesting, I think it would be an interesting wrinkle for her. So I don't know that I got B's pick. Did she pick Zarya too, or was she just commenting on that?
I'm not sure. I might have missed that.
Okay.
B, who did you have for the win on that one? Zarya
And
or
I'm looking for
Blake
I'm looking
Monroe?
for her pick on the Ethan Page match too. Let's see. Taking a look. Okay. Yeah. Looking for the Ethan Page prediction and the Zarya Blake prediction.
Okay. I can hear you typing away.
All right, cool. All right, well, we'll move on and we'll collect those and I'll note them once they arrive in the chat. All right, world title time. JC Jane defending once again the seemingly unbeatable JC Jane. Don't know how. The unsinkable JC Jane. Whatever happened to JC Jane is defending the NXT Women's Championship against #1 contender and Battle Royal winner Tuesday Adams herself, Tatum Paxley. Tatum and JC, what do you got, my man?
I love the fact that Tatum is in this position. I did not, if I were predicting how that Battle Royal would have gone, I would not have won that. I did not see that coming. I will say on a quick side note, and I know B feels this way because our girl, Miss Parker, can't get no kind of love in any way, shape, or form. She is always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I feel for that woman. Lola Vice too, but be that as it may, I love the fact that Tatum Paxley's in this. A ton of them, but the thing that I like about NXT with the women's division is that they give these seemingly individuals who you would never think would make it to the dance a chance. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the fact that because Tatum, her character works fine and she could just continue to do what she does and ride the fringe the way that she's been doing it. But the fact that she's in a title picture, I think is wonderful. However, I know I said some time ago that JC Jane was not the person to beat the unbeatable Stephanie Vaquer, and I was wrong.
I think we all
and we
said
saw
that.
what happened.
Yeah,
we all were in shock, and clearly now she's on the main roster doing big things popping, little things stopping. With that said, I do not feel that it is time for a JC Jane main roster call-up. I think she still got some work, some seasoning, if you will, a little more Lowry's, like we said yesterday, some more Old Bay.
Old Bay
needs to base that dry rub that is JC Jane. So I don't see her losing to Tatum Paxley. I also don't see her losing to Tatum Paxley because, as we all saw after that Battle Royal, Izzy Dame was a little, speaking of spices, she was a little salty. She was a little salty. Okay, she was not happy with how that went down, and I think that's going to play a factor in some way, shape, or form into the results of that match. And at the end of the day, JC Jane will retain.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got, I was really excited to see Tatum win that Battle Royal. I love mixing it up and giving her giving JC some new opponents. One thing I've enjoyed about JC's title reign, and this is part compliment, part insult, I guess, but you always believe everybody has a chance against her. Yeah. So it makes all the matches exciting. And JC's not a bad wrestler. I think she's just kind of a good heel, like honky tonk man type heel of like,
It's the honky tonk
don't-
man.
I don't want you to keep winning. Like, I just don't want you to keep winning. You know what I mean? So like, but
She's
she
cool. She's
is.
cocky. She's bad.
She says, yeah, man. She says that honky tonk mama. Yeah, she just I don't have a honky tonk man Hasbro figure. I was just looking around. I was like, I can't believe I used to when I was a wee little boy. But I'll have to remedy that one of these days. But nevertheless, JC, yeah, I was believing during the broadcast tonight that she might have a chance to take it from her.
Mhm.
And I was really believing it at the end of the tag match when JC just pinned her clean in the middle of the ring. I'm like, okay. I was like, they might be doing something this weekend. I mean, it's Tatum Paxley and it's Halloween Havoc, and she's the weirdo, creepy girl wrestler. Like, that's the time to crown her, if you're going to do that. But then she stood up and Bruce Lee all of Fatal Influence by herself, like without even Izzy helping her. And so she one shot at all three of those women after taking the pin. To which I was like, oh, okay. Well, never mind. Like you took that you took that moment away from us by giving it to us right then and there. She Johnny Gargano'd them like when he took down all of Undisputed Era like Superman 45 minutes into a title match. And so I really like Tatum and I hope there's room for her somewhere with this. I mean, like let's say Blake Monroe wins the North American title. Pairing her up with someone as different from her as Tatum Paxley could be a really fun North American title feud. Considering their personalities are so different. But yeah, I think they're going to save JC dropping the title. I mean, at this point, it's a long time to WrestleMania. So I don't know about stand and deliver, but she has done so much in her title reign. I think they're really going to build up somebody to just straight up dethrone her. And I think it's got to be somebody hot. Somebody with a lot of momentum. I want to be clear with the chat. I don't mean somebody just physically attractive, but somebody with a lot of momentum and build behind them. And Tatum would be a great champion, but I just don't think that's what they've done here. So I'm going to agree with you and go with JC Jane to retain, especially since her and all her girls got dropped by Tatum right there without Izzy's help. And also they just added Lainey Reed to the group too, because of, Jasmine Nix feeling lowball. So, there we are. And no judgment to her. If you don't like your pay, then you can go on about your day. So
there you go.
You know what? No shame in that.
No shame in that game.
She didn't seem bitter about it. So
B dropped her predictions. She's got Zarya and she's got Ethan Page.
Okay. Great. So we will add her women's title prediction when it comes up. But we only got one match left. Hey, it's presuming it's the main event with the absolute reminder that I have to remind myself Obafemi's not champion anymore every time I see him. Ricky Saints defending against former two-time NXT champion, former TNA champion, and whooper of that, Trick Williams. So Ricky and Trick, hey, who you got?
I saw the fray that was the ending of NXT. And Trick getting all up in his face, but he got dropped like a bad habit through that table. And I like what I saw. I like what I saw. I would not mind Trick Williams becoming champion once again, but I kind of like Trick going after the brass ring and not getting it at this time, especially considering that Ricky just got it. I think that would I'm trying to find the right word here. I guess I can't think of the right word, but let's just say belittle the reign of Ricky Saints. I think that'd be the wrong move. I think that'd be the wrong call. I think the fact that this was the man that was able to defeat the ruler, and yet he can't overcome the trick shot. That just doesn't make sense to
Mhm.
me at this juncture. It's a little too soon. If this is a clean match, if there are no interruptions, interference, shenanigans, I'm gonna go Ricky Saints to retain.
Okay. I mean, no lies detected here, man. That's the thing, man. Like it is the build. It's not just about Ricky just getting the title, but it's also who he beat the title, who he beat for the title. Like you're gonna cheapen, breaking that been like Brock Lesnar losing right after he broke the streak.
Thank you. Thank you.
You gotta make that conquering mean something. Whether you buy into it as a fan is up to you. But if you're gonna legitimize the mountain he climbed, you're not gonna get taken down by a would-be pretender to
Can't do it.
that reign.
Can't do
Also, not for nothing, because I'm not talking down Trick either. When I watched that segment tonight, it's funny because he was saying it plain as day as a heel, but Trick seemed too big for NXT to me
Mm,
at this
Mm.
point.
mm.
Like that looks like a man who has outgrown NXT.
I can see that. I can see
Um,
that at this point. Yeah.
I think he made the most of his minutes with the TNA title, and he has grown leaps and bounds in his personal confidence. And some of that is gimmick, but like that's wrestling. Like that's the game, is to lean into your gimmick and lean into who you are and let that make you larger than life, And it felt to me like a main roster guy coming down to challenge an NXT guy in this
Mm-hmm.
feud. I do not view Ricky and Trick on the same level. Trick to me puts off the aura of a main roster guy now.
Mm.
Which, that being said, knowing that he's not a main roster guy yet, I don't think there's a need to put the title back on him, because I don't think the title really helps him at this point, because I think he's helped himself as much as he can without moving up. So I don't know. So I don't know how it'll go down, but I think the right call is Ricky in that. And when they're ready, when they have a plan, Trick needs to move on up to the main roster. Honestly, I know sometimes, like, when a guy has a gimmick in NXT, when he starts off with, say, gimmick A, but then he evolves into gimmick B, I don't love to see him come up to the main roster and go right back into gimmick A again. But with Mello and Miz getting ready to blow up, wouldn't it be a great time for him to show up and have Mello's back? Like, he doesn't have to be the Raquel to his Roxanne,
Right.
but he
Not
could
again.
actually. Raquel and Roxanne, I guess they're kind of on the equal level. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a good comparison. I don't know. But like, he could be his own man, but they could still be like tight, maybe they could give us a variation of that without him just being Mello's muscle. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think Trick is long for NXT. I think he has done his work. He's put in his time. I think he and Oba both got to be coming up at some point. I just hope they only bring him up once they actually have a good plan for him, because I think that both of them can shine. And Ricky, I was glad to see Ricky's promo finally fire up a bit. I'm already. I know I pick on people who always say turn him heel is your answer to everything, but
Mhm.
Ricky Saints does not scream babyface to me at all as a person. Like, just like Austin Theory in interviews doesn't seem like a heel to me. Like, he just seems like a nice dude. Like, just let him be a babyface. Like, and people might actually like him more. I mean, connect with him more. I mean, like Ricky is a cocky little, you know what? Like, that's just who he is, and that's okay. That works for wrestling, but let him be that
Sure.
in wrestling. And so, yeah, I don't know when they'll get there with that or if they'll go there. They should, because I think him cutting a heel promo will be far better than him cutting a babyface promo. But he fired up really good on Trick tonight, which was really good. And it was, it was hot finish to the end of the show. But anyway, Ricky for sure got to win. I think got to win that match because you can't just have the new champion drop the belt immediately, especially to somebody who's already so tenured like Trick.
That's exactly right. I'm glad you brought that up because and I want to say B has JC for the win. And she has changed her mind and is now going with Ricky Saints for the win as well. And whilst you're typing that in here, I want to go ahead and say real quick because I like what you're saying in regards to Trick feeling like he's now outgrown NXT, and I see that as well. And that, my friend, is where I feel they went wrong with Carmelo Hayes. I feel they went wrong with the Jade Cargill. The fact of the matter is there's levels to this. Okay. And everybody's supposed to start at a certain level and then you move on, you graduate. I am not Doogie Howser. Okay. I couldn't
deep cut. Let's go.
I'm just saying, Jade Cargill is no Doogie Howser. There's levels to this. You need to be here before you go to here, before you go to here. That's the order of things.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. I love the food analogies. You had Trick Williams down here in NXT, man. He's been baking, he's been simmering, he's been cooking. They have him on the back burner a little bit, and then they bring him to the front. Okay, let's bring this. This meal is ready. This meal
brisket,
has been
baby.
ready.
He's brisket, baby. You got to let it cook for a little while, and then
that's all I'm saying.
Melts off. He melts off the bone, dog.
Melts off the bone.
Yeah.
Okay, what they did with Jade Cargill, this was al dente rice. Okay.
They took her out the freezer. Didn't even thought they didn't wait. They waited till Mama was in the driveway before they pulled the chicken out the freezer, man.
We all know. We all know that's just not how you do it.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way with Carmelo Hayes. The fact that they tried so many things with him and nothing really hit until now. I'm glad that something is finally hitting with him and Miz. B and I talked about this previously with the missed opportunity between Carmelo and Trick. The fact that you had Trick on the show in the audience, but and you had Carmelo on the same show on the same night, but you had no interaction between the two. There are people that watch Raw and SmackDown that genuinely do not watch NXT. Just showing them in the audience and putting a little graphic underneath, that doesn't mean it doesn't compute. Why do I care about Trick Williams? What history? Give me something. And if you had some interaction with him backstage with Carmelo Hayes, you still would have had that friction. That meeting that they decided to have them with, you can't talk about my brother like that. Like that would have had so much more heft to it if they had done something months and months ago. But I digress. The fact that they now have done this and have teased this, like you said, it would be fantastic if he were the one to come in here and some way, somehow lend the assist to him. But either way, I'm going to agree with you on this one. So I think we're all in agreement with Saints on this, right?
Yes, we are. And I mean, listen, that's the value of NXT. Like, I'm going to just drop some names here real quick. I mean, you look at Gunther, you look at Ilya Dragunov, you look at Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. You look at, listen, it's not 100% success rate, but you look at Stephanie Vicaire. You look at Rhea Ripley. Look at there was one other like super modern example I was thinking of with Vicaire that recently was there. I can't quite remember. I mean, Roxanne. I mean, all these people who spent time in NXT sharpening up. LA Knight, sharpening their tools in NXT before they came up just a little bit. It's just a little bit of extra sauce on the top. Just some of them need just a little bit of seasoning. Some of them you got to find the proper temperature to cook at. You know what I mean? Like it's just some of them have different blind spots, you know? So, and it's just one of those things like Jade, Jade could have used a little bit of time. It didn't mean she had to spend a year down there. Like, look, and that's the thing. Like, look at Vicaire. She wasn't there for very long, but she wanted to go to NXT first. She said that. And Ricky said, I think it was Ricky who said he wanted to go to NXT. There was somebody else who said, oh, Blake Monroe, who said, no, I want to start in NXT before I go up. And like, yeah, like this is, she won't necessarily be there for a super long amount of time. Julia and Vicaire weren't there, but for a hot minute. They're there long enough for, you know, HBK and the crew to determine, like, okay, they got the tools they need, you know, move them on up. And like, we could have got that with Mello. I don't have the answer for what happened with Mello at first, because I won't say that he was buried, because he's been featured on TV every week. Like,
Sure.
He's not sitting in catering. He's not, because SmackDown's not like NXT, where NXT will make sure you see the face of everybody one way or another every single week. Like, he has been on TV almost the entire time. But getting saddled with the Miz thing feels kind of like moving from like middle school to high school and you're still in a remedial class a little bit. And they haven't phrased it that way, but they do, but there has been talk I've heard, like maybe even from Miz, where it's like, because that's the weird thing. We've been fans for so long, we forget Miz is one of the old heads now.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure he actually is trying to help make Mello in the way that he sees it. And so, I mean, at least we're there now where it seems like something's about to happen. But I don't know, man. If it did feel like, even though they were doing right by keeping him on TV every week, he did seem a little directionless in the beginning. Even though he wasn't, you know, hidden from TV time at least. So I guess I can't complain too much, but so it's almost like they know they got something with him, but it's almost like they haven't figured it out either. And I'm like, what do you mean you haven't figured it out? Like, it's your job to figure it out. Like, we're, you know, I don't know. So maybe,
and that's why I get upset. They mess it up. Maybe
Trick being present up there could help bring that magic back a little bit, even if they're not rerunning the same thing. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So I'm eager to see what happens, and I do wish they hadn't, you know, been so I forget what you call it. Maybe, you know, let's keep the food analogy going. I feel like their eyes were a little bigger than their stomach with Jade. They're, you know, they see her and they're like, oh no, main roster right away. We'll hide the deficiencies and accent, you know, her strengths and stuff. I'm like, bro, she would have killed in NXT for a while.
Yeah.
She would have been a monster. Could you imagine her and Obafemi doing press tours, being two just monsters? Like, that would have been, anyway. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. You know, nothing is unsavable yet, at least in far as these things go. But we'll see how it goes. So anyway, thanks everybody for sticking with us. I'm going to revisit our predictions here real quick, at least point out our outliers. So we are in total agreement for 4 of the 6 matches tonight, this weekend, which predictable doesn't mean a bad thing, not in the slightest. But we're all picking Ricky Saints to retain. We're all picking JC Jane to retain. And we're all picking Ethan Page to retain. And we are all believers in Javon and Leon as a tag team.
Believe.
Where we differ, our defending champion A is the only one picking Blake Monroe and the only one picking Dark State. So go big or go home for sure. We're doing that. And Justin actually does bring up, let's do a little bonus here. Justin asks the group, the question is, who's going to show up at Halloween Havoc? Do you have any thoughts about who might show up?
I thought about this. I thought about this, and because I'm not 100% sure. I think there's still a good strong possibility that we see Obafemi in the Royal Rumble. But
Mhm.
I'm not entirely sure that they're done with him in NXT.
Okay.
Ricky Saints retains, Obafemi returns, and we might run that back one more time. Just cause, because it feels sort of unfinished. I get the idea of, okay, he lost, and now we're grooming him and preparing him for a main roster run, and that's perfectly fine. But I like the idea, and it feels a little more solidifying if they run it back one more time. Ricky Saints puts him down, and now that's pretty much, now we're settled on Obafemi. Right now it just feels like it just feels a little too unsettled for me. So I think we might see Obafemi return.
Okay. Obafemi. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who we see. I don't know that we will have some sort of earth shattering. Like, I don't expect like Britt Baker to show up or somebody like that. Although that level of a surprise would be highly entertaining. But I'm curious. There are certain things like the tag title match and the North American title match being no rules, basically. For those, will we get any kind of surprise interference? Because Dark State's got a lot of enemies, and there's no rules. So will somebody be coming to get their lick back on Dark State in that match? Maybe rob them of the titles. Also, no rules in the North American title match. Could Ethan Page recruit somebody to help him out? I don't know. Could we see another? I was sitting here thinking to myself, Santos Escobar did the old Grandpa Simpson walking in and walking right back out and walking back in gif. I wonder, and the chatter online was that they came to an agreement, and there was some kind of language about having creative plans for him.
Yeah.
And I wonder where he's going to land. I mean, because he was on SmackDown and then just disappeared, and then the Garzas shot up like without him. I mean, they tried to give the Garzas over to Andrade before he left, and then came back and then left and then came back.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is now either. But maybe those guys will just make some spots in AAA. I don't know what'll happen, but I feel like both of those sort of no rules matches are ripe for opportunity of some kind of cameo or run in for somebody that we haven't talked about.
Interesting.
I think the Dark State one makes the most sense. It would be fun to see a TNA cameo there to come help. Justin actually makes a really fun prediction here. He says, I wonder if Abyss or Hurricane Helms shows up to help the Hardys, which would be wild. I mean, it's Halloween, right? It's Halloween Havoc.
I can see it. I could see it.
I would pop for Abyss for sure. I love Hurricane too. But man, yeah, but we have not seen Abyss in the Abyss getup ever on WWE TV.
Yeah,
so
we have not.
So
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
That would be a lot of fun too. Hitting one of those Dark State boys with a black hole slam or something. But there we go. All right. Well, we got those predictions. They are locked in. Just chat. Everybody know we are a question mark at Mark by Wrestling for live streaming on Saturday. I still have to determine if I'm going to be home during broadcast time. If I will, you guys will see the notification come up on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed and hitting that bell and all that stuff, and you'll see it come alive at showtime. But if not, I'll 100% be here next Tuesday, of course, for more NXT. What is next on the menu for your space and your channel, my friend?
Well, I will tell you, B and I were having a conversation, and we're talking about some things in the future. We're going to be, well, at least this channel will be live for SmackDown as well. And, as far as Halloween Havoc goes, you never know.
Okay.
You never know.
it's a trick or treat, man. I mean, just
That's all I can
that's
see.
part of
You
the
never
fun,
know.
right? There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We'll say it once, we say it a million times. Don't forget to be a mark. Being a mark means you believe. Believing makes wrestling better. And check A and B combos for SmackDown Friday night. And keep your eyes open for Halloween Havoc. And we will see you all very, very soon.